And welcome back to another live edition of the Ad Podcast. We are reaching you from beautiful Cabo San Lucas down in Mexico this week, and we have Yaron, who I will introduce shortly, who's joining us from Israel. So we've got the international community hanging out today on the show. But before we get into it, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Go High Level. I've got to tell you about this tool. It really lets me run my entire business from anywhere, even here in Cabo with the sand in my shoes. It replaces all those separate apps that you need, email, funnels, texting, CRM, and puts it all into one simple platform. You can automate follow-ups, bookings, pipelines, and all working from the beach here in beautiful Cabo San Lucas. If you want your business to run smoother, faster, and honestly feel a little bit more like the chill vibe of Cabo, you should definitely check out Go High Level. For a 30-day free trial, you can check it out in the show notes. And don't forget to let them know that the Ad Podcast sent you. All right, so with that out of the way, let's get in and talk about our guest today, Yaron Orenstein. Yaron is the CEO of Hop.co, which is a Wix company. They provide next-generation link in bio applications for creators, thought leaders, SMBs, and professionals. Yaron, thanks so much for coming on, man.
Hey, thank you very much for hosting me. It's a great pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. So let's just start off with a little bit of a bio. So, I know you're a creator economy enthusiast, and I love all the great stuff that Wix has been doing to support creators and entrepreneurs and thought leaders. I'm a Wix customer. The Ad Podcast is a Wix site. So I'm super excited to learn more about Hop and how I can maybe integrate it into my own business. So, but before we get into that, why don't you tell us a little bit, how'd you get into the industry and how'd you start building technology for the creator economy?
Oh, so first of all, again, thank you very much. Maybe I'll start with a quick bio. Then we are a bio link. So maybe I'll start with a quick bio about myself. So as you mentioned, I'm co-leading with two other founders, Hop, which is a Wix company, and we are basically a creative platform, fully owned by Wix. And at the end, I think as you are, I'm mainly passionate about democratizing online businesses, SMBs, creators, and helping them at the end succeed online. But at the end, I think the most important part, first of all, I'm a father of three great kids.
Let's go.
I have a lovely wife. We are married for 25 years. I'm
Oh,
a serial
congratulations, man.
entrepreneur since I remember myself. And I think the whole journey I've done in the last almost 30 years have brought me to that point where all the dots are being connected, and I feel that this is the right time to make Hop. And for your question, I mean, um, so I know I started as a nerd guy back in the 80s. Programming, I started learning in the basic language you're familiar with.
Yeah, for sure.
Back then, I had a Sinclair Spectrum, like 48K small computer. I was programming basic, and I was confident that this is the future for me. I'm going to be a programmer. I'm going to do a startup or something like that. And during college, I started working at Checkpoint, and which is, I don't know if you're familiar with, one of the leading cyber companies in the world, traded on Nasdaq, originally from Israel. And I was confident that I've done everything right. I'm finally a programmer in a huge company, and only then I realized that I'm only an okay developer. When I was
Mm.
starting getting tasks to develop, when I was still, trying to find out and figure out the right way to solve it, my colleagues were already done and moving ahead to the next task. So this is the point when I said, okay, Yaron, put your dreams aside and recalculate your career path. And back then, it was still early in the internet, and I knew back then that I have very strong skills on creativity and product, and I decided to do this transition to move to the product side, to the evil side, I would say. And I think this is where I found myself, and I started growing from there. And then I climbed the ladder into different roles, from product to marketing to dev and biz dev, and then CEO, and founding companies. And that was very, important point for me in history, that I realized that I need to change all I was growing on, and all my dreams have immediately changed within a month, I think, into work.
Wow,
I
that's
realized
crazy.
that I have to recalculate everything.
Yeah,
And
well,
yeah,
I think maybe a little salient too with like the rise of vibe coding and stuff like that. It seems like I think you diversified it to other skill sets probably, at the right
yeah,
moment, right?
it's a huge skill today. Is a must. It's a must. You must diversify. You must learn everything. You must come with complementary tool sets when you're coming today to be an entrepreneur. It's not about being good at business or product or this programming language or other one. You need to bring this old tool set with you to succeed today. And at least this is my tip for my kids when they are right now, starting their career. Um,
Oh,
get as much education as you can.
I love that.
Definitely.
So let's hop into Hop, no pun intended. So Hop's a Wix company. Tell me a little bit, like, did you guys start Hop outside of Wix? Did you develop it internally because of a prior relationship? Tell me how, this startup within the larger Wix organization came to be, and what's the strategic partnership with Wix?
Yeah. So this is a unique story, first of all. So Wix is a traded company, and it's considered today as the leading company in the world for website building.
Hmm.
If you aren't familiar with, I guess you are as a
Yeah,
client.
for sure.
Um, And I've known the founding team for quite a while, and I was also by myself a serial entrepreneur. And I was part of a founding team of an AR VR company right before COVID. And when COVID started, we had to shut down the company, and it was literally on the first week of COVID. And
Ugh.
it was brutal. Timing, but it gave me the time I needed, to restart everything, to look at what's happening online, and see the new trends that is happening. And back then, tons of companies were collapsing all over. But on the other side, we saw this huge explosion of creators and influencers growing in a massive scale on social media. And then you started realizing, okay, they managed to monetize their activity somehow. Some are doing yoga classes, some are selling affiliate links, some are doing brand deals and whatever. Courses online started, ebooks and everything. It suddenly exploded. So I realized that trend, and it was fascinating. But then I was starting to dive deeper. How do they make it happen? What's their secret sauce? How do they manage to be that successful, while at the end they're not business guys, they're not tech guys, they're super creative persons on creating great content? But how do you make that conversion, and how do you turn it into a business? And only then I realized that, first of all, these are not only creators. There's a complete shift here. Maybe, the vast majority will call them creators. We call them social first businesses today.
That's a way. That's a
Okay?
great way to coin it. Yeah.
Because at the end, what's the difference between, a yoga teacher that is creating content in order to drive traffic into online classes or offline classes, and another influencer that is just, creating content to monetize with brand deals or affiliation? There's no real, at the end, both are creating content. From my perspective, content is the new SEO. Okay,
Ah,
you are creating content in order to get discoverability, but at the end, you're selling a product. Okay, and that's your new storefront. It runs on your Instagram, it runs on your TikTok, it runs on your YouTube, Twitter, wherever. But this is your storefront. You have a single storefront distributed among different social networks. You are creating content in order to get visibility, and then you're trying to convert that into money or turn that into a business or any other goal you might want to have. But when I started digging inside, I realized that each one of them is using what we call the technology stack of the creators. Each one
Yep.
of them were using between 5 to 15 different tools to manage their existence. So they started from Linktree that just started back then for posting links. Then they have a Camel for greeting. They have a courses. They have ebooks. They have a payment platform on a different place. Okay, they have a CRM. They have email marketing. They have print on demand, affiliations. How do you and a blog? How do
And
you manage all of that?
all those things sometimes can cost them money too, right? So
Wow, yeah,
it's not just managing different logins, but some of those tools cost money.
yeah, it's a mess.
Yep.
It's a mess from one side. On the other side, it's a lot of hassle to manage all of that. Takes a lot of time, resources, understanding, deep understanding how to manage all this stuff. And at the end, you have no control. You have no ownership. You don't own your business. All your data is scattered all over. I mean, any one of these business is holding a piece of your business,
Yep.
but you as a person do not hold anything. You do not, at the end, you're not holding really anything because you don't have these contact details for your followers. You don't have the credit card. You don't know anything about them. You don't know about their segmentation. If you want to remarket them later on, you have nothing. You don't
Yep.
have a single source of truth that connects all the dots, all the services into a single record about the client. So these are great tools. These are great companies. I have nothing bad to say about anyone. But from a business point of view, I want to see everything in a single place, from my opinion. And this is, I
Mm,
believe, this is what we are trying to bring here. We want to help these social first businesses create their business and own it. They should be owning the infrastructure. They should be owning their destiny. Right now, if you're doing something wrong, YouTube will ban you. You lose your business. Tomorrow, Trump could shut down TikTok. You lost 5 million followers. What happens to your business? So you've built it for 5 years and suddenly TikTok is being shut, Instagram changed their policy or whatever and blocks you for a month. You need to own your business. You need to control it. So social networks are great for discoverability. They're great for communicating and broadcasting your messages and promoting yourself. But at the end, these are tools to help you build your business. You need to own it. It's all on you at the end. And I
yeah.
think this is the realization I got on COVID, and this is the original vision we started from. And I had a discussion with the Wix CEO. Back to your question, I tend to,
It's all good. It's all good. I love it. I love
forgive me,
hearing.
I'm getting
Well,
too
well,
enthusiastic, you
no, it's
triggered me a
great.
little.
Well, you're talking about the insight first, and then we'll get into the business story. But I think the insight is an important thing to lay out. And yeah, I mean, I remember when I was on the talent management side during COVID, I was on the receiving end of kind of the creator economy boom. I was getting probably 100 pitches a day from companies that were like, hey, we would love for you. We're the creator economy of workouts, or we're the creator economy of travel. And all you have to do is sign up for my platform, promote my platform for free to your audience, and then I'll, rev share with you. And it's like, what?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? So the idea of something of like what you guys set out to build was more of like a SaaS tool for creators, for them to manage their relationship with customers, and then kind of like bolt in these other channels, right? Because that was always my thing, is like, well, what I really need first is a workout solution, because I was representing the world's largest female fitness influencer. So do I go build that from scratch to sell workout classes or diet, modalities, or workout equipment, or do I build that, as a standalone business, or do I find someone who's willing to partner with me, but not just, I don't, like you were saying, I don't want them to own my customer data just do a rev share. I want it to be a true collaboration. So it sounds like what you guys are trying to do is put tools in the hands of the creators so they can own their relationships with their customers, and they can use these different kind of universal monetization tools, things like, you know, like you mentioned, a competitor like a Cameo, like that's not something that's, you know, it's extremely unique. It's just creating original videos for people. A lot of people would
That's
say
fair.
that's what
I
a lot
mean,
of people would say that's what OnlyFans does too, right?
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's great. I love these services. I think they are doing great for the economy. They're doing great for the end users, and that's perfect. At the end, um, we are not just giving tools. You know, our goal is to give them ownership. Okay, we want to give them ownership of what they're doing. And that's the bottom line. And tools can change. You know, it can be one thing today and could be something else tomorrow. And we've seen this evolution in the last 4 years. I mean, so many companies has collapsed. Many others is, were shining and rising, like OnlyFans that blown away like in recent years, and they're doing a great job for a specific category. I mean, they are
Mhm.
literally allowing these people to make money, legit money. From my perspective, it's a point of view then, but I
Sure.
think they're allowing a certain segment to make money. This segment was fighting for their money before. It was very difficult for them to make it. And they have different challenges that we'll not get to that now, but that's not my business. But I think they have democratized that segment and they're allowing them to control their destiny then. And that's the beauty about it, from my perspective, and I love it. We are trying to see it in a more broader way, and at the end to build an infrastructure. That's the difference. We are not a link in just a link in bio or a specific tool for yoga teacher or for artists or for influencers or affiliate. We are an infrastructure for social first businesses. This is what we are building, and you don't have to be a pure creator for that.
Mhm.
You have to create content because that's the game today. I'm sorry. Back
Yep.
then, you needed to do SEO, you needed to do Google AdSense, right? Today, you need to create content. I'm sorry that I'm not putting down the rules. It's about Meta, it's about TikTok. They are owning the distribution today. They are the new leaders right now. So you need to play the game. I can help you own your business on these platforms at the end.
Yeah, no, I
And
love that. So let's get a little bit more deeper into the Wix story. So
yeah, so I'm sorry. Yeah,
we,
let's go back.
no,
Yeah.
no, it's okay. So we talked about the insight. We framed the insight and the problem and what you guys are addressing. So tell me how you became
Yeah.
part of the Wix family.
So I've known the Wix CEO Avishai for quite a long time. He was my cap table on my previous startup,
Mm,
which I sold. And during COVID, I was brainstorming with a couple of friends. What should we do when we realized it? Trend of quick creators. We came up with this few concept, and that was, I think, the original concept of Hop. How we started. And during a friendly discussion with a friendly meeting, I guess that was the Zoom meeting because back then we didn't go out. So
yeah,
that was a
right.
Zoom meeting at 11 o'clock, I think, at night. We just talked and, as friends, and he loved the idea. He put me in touch with the CMO of the company. They loved it and said, hey, let's do it differently this time. Once you join Wix, why you get your flexibility, you get your own brand, you get to build it within Wix, you have your own team, and let's do it differently. Wix
Wow.
will be there within a few years, I guess. Nobody knows what will happen within 4 or 5 years, but sounds like a great vision. Let's play it. And I think it shows a lot about the company and about leadership and visionary leadership at the end. That one of the toughest things in a corporate is to keep this innovation going all the time and to be on the pulse all the time and finding these trends. And in many cases, you end up, um, you know, repeating yourself and building the same products. Although you want to create innovation, you're finding yourself at the end putting progress people on the task, but at the end they have the same DNA of the corporate. Yes, I know. So at the end, you end up with the same product or different products, same problems or something like that. It's very difficult to create innovation within a corporate, and that's why that's part of the reason I joined. I guess I love that offer. I think this is super visionary approach, and we got this flexibility to build it within a week.
That's
I'm not.
amazing.
I'll not dive right now because it will turn into an ad about risk. But and
No, no, that's totally fine.
that's not the goal. But there's a lot of advantages being an entrepreneur within a huge corporate. There's so many, I would say, unfair advantages. Uh, by given that you get. First of all, you don't have to worry about salaries, raising money. You get this. Wix has about right now 300 million users. So we have an opportunity, to tap into that user base, experiment on different features, offer them to use our product first without marketing. So you don't need marketing spend at first. You get this huge knowledge base here of 17 years building online. What else? And technology stack. We have the privilege to cherry pick basically specific solutions, specific technologies that we can maybe repurpose into hub that would make sense to our users at the end. So I think that's the story at Wix, and we are already about 4 years here. We've joined with one vision throughout the day, throughout the process. We've been manipulating and experimenting and doing different stuff until we are, gathered all the insights we have and focused on what we have today, which is pretty close to what the original vision was.
Wow.
Surprisingly, but we had to do like a detour of so many other products on the way until we get to what we have right now to be confident that this is what the user wants and that. So I mean,
I
that's in a
love it.
nutshell the story.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about integration. So obviously, I'm very interested because I am a creator, content creation business. I'm a Wix client for my website, but I've never heard of Hop until you guys reached out. So, what are you guys doing to look at the 300 million Wix businesses or users and identify which one of those are the most ready for opportunity, or like the low hanging fruit to become Hop users as well? And how does my Hop account talk to my Wix account and make life easier for me as a creator?
Okay, so first of all, it's important to understand Hop is also a standalone product. You can access it directly from hop.co, but on the other side, for Wix users, it's available by default through their business manager. You don't have to do anything. So you
Wow.
should be seeing on your business manager on the left side of the navigation bar, you should be seeing next to the mobile app and website, you should be seeing the Hop link in bio. And that's the main entry point. But there are a few others, like when you are building a product, when you are doing a course or something like that, when you finalize it, we ask you, do you want to promote it on social with a link in bio? So we tap into these different entry points where we think it makes more sense, where we think the intent for the users might be more relevant and stronger. And this is where we offer it. We were witnessing great conversion. Of course, different verticals show different results. I mean, this is how you can find out about it as a Wix user. And at the end, since we are basically sharing at least part of the technology stack, it's pretty easy for us. Once you decide to activate your link in bio, we basically connect to your main website, okay? And we have this relationship between both of them that they can share knowledge, okay? So basically, if you have a full store with, let's say, 50 products, it doesn't make sense to reflect them on your link in bio because that would be duplication. And the intent of the user on social media is a different intent when it comes to your website. So at the end, through your Hop bio editor, you'll be able to pick a single product that right now you want to promote for Thanksgiving. that you want to have a discount. So just pick this product, put it on top of my link in bio within a click. You don't have to do anything. The checkout happens within everything. So basically, it reduces and reduces the journey of the user from being exposed to your promotion on TikTok till it gets to your website. Instead of getting to your website, I'm sorry, you stop on your link in bio and you finalize the deal over there. That's the goal. So you basically reduce 3 steps on the way, and basically you improve your conversions, and you provide a better service to your users because you communicate one thing on TikTok or story, within a click they get it right now
Wow.
on their page. And basically for you as an owner, there's no hassle. You pick a
Yeah,
product,
it
you
shortens the
click it, and
pathway.
that's all. I mean, you click it and that's all. That's the idea of that integration, and it simplifies everything. Now, it's important to understand, and there are different intents. I mean, websites are huge. It's been there for ages, and it will be there for ages, I guess.
Yep.
There's a unique need when you go to build a website. You want to have full creativity. You want to have full design control. You want to have a full, maybe commerce platform. When you go to a link in bio, you come for a different reason, and sometimes it's just an extension of your website, like in that case we just discussed. But on the other side, there's all these social first businesses that are also part of that segment of SMBs, okay, that will not have a website today. And they are just looking for something simple to start their online business journey with. And this is where we come. In that case, within less than 10, 20 minutes, they will get a full-blown solution, no design skills, no coding skill, and sometimes no business skills, because we'll just tell them, oh, you are an online creator, you are a artist. Usually artists like to monetize with print on demand. Do you want to have your own t-shirt and sell it to your audience? Within one click, you have it. We'll do the
Wow.
fulfillment. We'll do the fulfillment for you worldwide for that. Okay, I mean, we are trying to help you do the business. It's not just about picking the solution, because in many cases, as I mentioned, these users are super creative, but are lacking sometimes the full understanding and potential they hold within them. And sometimes you need to help them unleash it and, take this creativity outside and turn it into a business. So this is where we see that can come into the picture and help them as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So you guys aren't just helping them build a digital presence or kind of like the first step to maybe having a website, or like you said, many creators don't ever even need to have a full website. They could just have a hop presence, because that's kind of, the in between, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then I love the
Maybe they
idea.
grow up when
Yeah, yeah,
when they
totally.
mature, they do need a website. Yeah, you'll get it. We'll give you it
Yeah.
with the same package. You'll get also a website. So, I mean, it depends. And I'm sorry I stopped you,
No, I
interrupted
think
you.
I think that's interesting. But what I think is also really exciting is that you're actually suggesting to the creator, based on the type of creator they are, what are the low hanging fruit ways in which they can start to monetize their audience, right? So, for me, I had my podcast for years before I started taking sponsorships, and really was just building an audience and building community. And then all of a sudden, people reached out and they're like, "Hey, can we sponsor you, or can you come to this event, or blah blah blah." But there was
What was your
probably
feeling? What was your
um,
feeling back then? The first email you were receiving about this opportunity. I want to
yeah,
sponsor your podcast.
yeah, it's a great question. I think the most important thing for me was that I built the podcast not because I needed it to make money. It gave me an opportunity to talk to interesting people like yourself, right? So it started off as more of like a way to satisfy my own curiosity and to stay always like on the top of new technologies and meeting interesting people. And then as time went on, people started reaching out to sponsor. Luckily for me, I never got the sponsorship offers that were very like silly kind of like, oh yeah, we'll send you, like a coffee company or something stuff, because I do a business podcast. It's not relevant to consumers. It's relevant to a B2B audience, specifically within the creator economy and the marketing world. But then sponsors started reaching out with serious money, like $5,000 a month for example. And then it made sense, as long as I thought that the products would align with my audience, right? So I was
Definitely.
very I was always very like judiciously protective of the audience, because A, I didn't need the money, and B, I didn't want to alienate them with things that weren't relevant. So that's kind of how I've taken it. But maybe I'm a different use case, because in the world of B2B podcasting, consumer facing podcasts, or people that are going after a broader lifestyle or a gaming audience or something like that.
Yeah, the dynamic is a bit different, but at the end, this I think this point in time when you're you get this satisfaction suddenly when someone approaches you with a business opportunity because of what you're doing for your passion. It's not as you mentioned, you're not doing it as a business. You're doing it because you're passionate about it. You want to discuss, you want to explore, you want to talk to people. You want to bring your message out there. You didn't do it for business reasons. So suddenly someone realizes it and say, "Hey, you're doing a great job. I want to pay for that." And later on, there are users who will say, "I want to pay a subscription maybe to get that content. I'm willing to do a subscription." And suddenly you find yourself with 100 people maybe paying you for a subscription. And then you have a business. Okay, I mean, this is great. I mean, I think that's the most interesting, point when what we are doing. I mean, both of us in that industry. I mean, seeing so many people, so many talented people, that each one of them has its own uniqueness, each one of them has its own skills. And suddenly there's an opportunity in time. Hey, if I can just package it and communicate it, there's a situation out there that I can monetize and I can make a living out of it. And that's the beauty of that, period of time we are living in right now.
Yeah, no, totally. I wanted to ask you, you said something that was funny about like the unfair advantage of being part of the Wix family. So what I think is really interesting is that Wix has been working with creators for many years, right? So
That's right.
Wix has a whole group of affiliates up to like massive celebrity, businesses that they help run their websites and use them for marketing campaigns. I mean, look, Wix does Super Bowl campaigns, right? So they have a very wide variety of creators, down to like the micro and the nano, all the way up to the biggest people in the industry. Are you able to work with the Wix family of creators to kind of piggyback off their creator relationships and their marketing in order to package and kind of, because that's the greatest way to get adoption, is if you get people who are like recognized as, say, like, kind of the experts or biggest person within their category, like a Casey Neistat, or Peter McKinnon, like some of these big creators that other creators look up to and like look to for advice on they have built their businesses. Like, how are
Yeah.
you able to leverage the Wix brand and the rich Wix creator network to also kind of grow Hop at the same time?
So being part of the family, at the end, we're a family. So I'm part of Wix, and it's part of who we are and what we do, and the standards of the product we have to deliver. Then we take it very seriously. On the other side, we own our own marketing team, and we have our own budget, and we have to report to the management. At the end, what we do and what do we achieve. We don't have any shortcut on that case, and we need to deliver, we need to convert, we need to create our own funnels, we need to do our own return on investment, or as we call it, TROI, the time to return on investment, on these budgets we are putting anywhere. So we are being managed as a business. We don't have any shortcuts here. And if we will not deliver, will not exist, I guess. But
Yeah.
luckily, we are delivering, and we are super satisfied with our growth rate. Luckily, we haven't done much marketing to date, actually. Just in recent, I would say, 4 or 5 months, we just started doing some online marketing with different campaigns on social media. But very, in very unique use cases. We are still not doing it broadly and putting much budgets into that. I assume, if I have to guess, our budget would be on the lowest tier of compared to other startups. We are so far very, satisfied from the results and the funnels we're building and the virality of the product and the feedback we're getting. Our whole product mentality is about being very, very close to the market and talking on a weekly basis with tons of users, always checking what they are building, how they are using our product, how they are forcing our product to do something else that we not even intended to do. And this is how we identify these new needs, and then we talk to them, and then we are introducing new stuff. This is how we move on. We are not trying to force our own opinion, although we are super experienced people here within a super experienced company. But we can make an assumption, and 2 days later you realize that you are completely off. So it's all about the user. That's our mentality is here. So,
Yeah.
so
Well,
yes, we
well, I
are
think
working like a typical startup. There's no difference in that case. We are completely independent in that case. Of course, again, we have this access to this endless knowledge base here, and we're getting this help and tips if we need. But at the end, it's on our own.
Yeah, well, I think they call that product-led marketing, right? And why working in the creator economy is so exciting, because if you build a great product for creators, creators are going to tell their friends about it, right? So
In some
it's
cases,
almost, yeah.
unless you pay them, so they will say something else.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's the blessing and the curse, I suppose, of like being in that space. Is if sometimes if you're just early enough and you develop something that's really exciting, it will get shared. If it creates enough value, it will get shared organically. But then as competitors pop up, then people want to buy their way into the category, and then now everybody's
Which
being
is
quiet because
legit.
they're waiting for the pay. Yeah, totally, it makes sense,
This
right?
is legit, and as you described yourself, it's about who you are, if you want to, promote something or not.
Yeah,
If you're staying to, keeping your truth and loyal to your truth. Loyal to your belief and what businesses make sense to you and what's not. It's up to you then. And if someone buys the way into that, that's fair. To
yeah.
date, we haven't paid any creator to promote us.
Wow, that's awesome.
To date, I'm not saying that we will not. I guess we will do
Sure.
influential marketing at a certain point. There's
Yep.
no wrong here. Just about maturity of the product and being confident that we know what we're doing. And I think the best way to do it is by talking to the users and working closely with the community and moving step by step and solving another problem until we'll have everything figured out. It's still a long way for us.
I love it. So, wouldn't be a marketing podcast or a creator economy podcast if we didn't talk about AI or Web3. So,
Is there
obviously,
Web3?
well, I think Web3 is important from the perspective of the creator economy, because like to like what is left of like, the NFT ecosystem, or like, that world, I think creators drive, and the impact on like what is being transacted in that space still. So to where there is like still a NFT or a Web3 economy, like somebody like Gary Vee, for instance, like using NFTs as the ticket to his conferences and creating tremendous value for the
Definitely.
community that holds his NFTs. But probably AI is the more important, side of that, where, you talked about the idea that a creator may start working on Hop, and you guys will automatically suggest to them ways that they can start monetizing based on the type of creator they are. How is AI, speeding up adoption or speeding up monetization opportunities for creators within the Hop ecosystem?
So, to be fair, we haven't launched yet our AI platform.
Okay,
and I cannot disclose everything we're doing over there.
that's
We
all
will
right.
be launching. We will be launching one very close. We have a huge vision for that. But of course, we can talk about it. And at the end, I believe AI, as I mentioned before, I mean, we've seen so much evolution in recent years. AI is another one of them. And AI open new doors for creators. It opens new door and opportunities and possibilities for SMBs online, for these social first businesses. It allows them to shorten the path to monetize their skills at the end. They can better express it in a more professional way right now. Anyone can just prompt it in whatever tool they want, in Nano Banana or whatever, or ChatGPT, and they create suddenly they can create infographic, they created courses, they can create uh, videos. They can do anything they want. So I believe that first of all, it will speed um, and simplify the creation process of these creative people, and in order to be able to present what they're doing in a better way. On the other side, tools like Hop and others will allow them to better offer that and communicate that and manage that to their user base in different ways. As one of them is what I mentioned before. Maybe if I'll know exactly who you are and what your colleagues are doing or what your peers are doing right now, because I have this data, maybe I can suggest you something that would work better for your audience. Or if you're on
Mm,
TikTok, it's one thing, on Instagram, it's something else, maybe. And maybe I'll know something about your demographic. Maybe I can give you another tip. If I have the access to your data, we can work together on that as an AI agent. So there's a lot of thoughts around that, how we can help creators and SMBs better build a business, communicate it, and later on monetize it. I think it's a huge, huge, huge revolution. It's much bigger than anything I've seen, at least. I'm not that old, but anything I've seen in my life, in my career. And I think the opportunity right now in front of these SMBs is numerous. I mean, I'm seeing so many businesses, talented people are just staying, looking what's going on and saying, is it the right time to me? I don't know what to do. What's the strategy? I don't have a business plan. Fuck it. Go do it. I mean, you have all the things you need. What blocks
yeah,
you from doing business? Go talk to no one on a podcast. Suddenly you have
yeah,
one follower, you have 5 followers. Be consistent, make it happen. What holds
yeah. I
you? I
think
mean, the AI will, it's even easier for you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a great time
I
to be an
no,
SMB today.
I love your passion because I think the thing that I feel like entrepreneurs or would be entrepreneurs lack the most is the courage to step out and just put their idea out there. And I think you're right. I think the biggest thing that AI is doing is it's lowering like we've already had a low barrier to entry through products like Wix and the direct to consumer revolution, so many things. But now with AI, the layer has dropped even lower, or
I
the
agree.
barrier to entry has dropped even lower. And like you said, like with SEO, like now you don't have to be a talented writer. You just have to go out there and start creating content on social media, and the algorithm
Yeah,
will do the rest, right? So it's
yeah.
like it's
It's not
almost like
about paying,
there's no excuses left anymore to not launch your idea, really, or
you
at least
know,
try it as a side hustle.
many people are not even aware for the point you just mentioned. I mean, algorithm has improved so dramatically in last year. I mean, it turned out it completely to the other side. I mean, right now it's more of an interest algorithm. I mean,
Yeah,
if you make
doesn't
good
matter how many
content,
followers you have.
yeah, it doesn't care if you have a tons of followers. It's not about the scale, it's about the quality. So if you create good content, it's not about being, a good photograph. It's about the quality of your content. And at the end, each one of us has its own niche. And there are some tiny niches, but it's enough for you to get your 500 loyal customers to have a solid business at the end. And people don't get it. They just have, communicate, talk about it. I mean, I'm starting to listen like maybe Gary Vee, but that's not my idea here. But that's his job to do it. I'm from the business
Yep.
side, but yeah, I mean, just make it happen. I mean, there's nothing the host should hold you. And if I may, I want to give you like a personal story on that because
Yeah, let's do
I'm
it.
experiencing that firsthand right now with my wife. Okay, I mean, she's like more than 20 years in high tech, good salary, and she's been pretty senior in several companies, and but she was burned out, and she has this passion
Yeah.
for art, and art curation, I would say. And we were building our house, I mean, new home, like 4 years ago, and she started curating uh, different pieces of art from different places in the world, Indonesia, Malaysia, Mexico, where you are right now,
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
parts. And the common thing was they were all handmade craft by women. This is what she loved.
Wow.
So she started bringing that home, and her friends saw it, and they loved it. And she said, okay, maybe that's my point in time to make it happen. So she started bringing more, and she sold it to her friends. So then she said, okay, let's build a business around that. So she opened an Instagram account. And, a few months later, I'm trying to shortcut the story. So within
Sure.
maybe 4 months, she has about a bit more than 2,000 follower base. But her
Wow.
but
That's
her
awesome.
business is already six figures a month.
Holy cow. That's
Okay?
great. And isn't that crazy? You don't even need that many followers. So
This is what I'm
it
talking
doesn't
about.
matter.
She didn't have any knowledge. She doesn't even know how to take, good pictures and a good selfie. She's like a typical person. She's not a creator. She's definitely not a
Yep.
creator. She's a businesswoman who were
Yeah.
working in high tech with great salary, super talented. But she had this passion, inside her, and she didn't know how to express it. So she was just being unique. She took the photograph, she was shooting photos as she knows. It was unique, it was authentic. This is what she knows, this is what she has done. She talked to, you know, I'll tell you a story. Until now, she doesn't have a LinkedIn bio. You know why?
Wow.
Because she understands that the most crucial part is to be a customer obsessed. She wants to
Yeah.
know her customer first. So she has her own personal WhatsApp on Instagram. Anyone who want to buy something from her stories, send her a message. She get it. She communicate with them. She talk to them. She understands what they're asking, what's their sensitivity in terms of pricing, what they want. Either they like it, what's their feedback, and everything. Based on that, she later on, you know, uh, improve and refine her catalog, okay, and bring other stuff. And this is how she grows. She was managing everything from our living room. Our living room turned out into a huge showroom with hundreds of pictures and the frames packed on each other. She was doing the
So
framing
good.
and everything. And as I mentioned, within few months, it turned into a six-figure business a month. And it keeps growing
Amazing.
all the time. And she just moved, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. She moved from our living room to our own showroom. She took that leap as a
Wow.
business. She took another leap.
Yep.
She committed for a 2-year lease for a showroom. Okay. She's expanding. And it's all that. Right now, she has a bit more than 5,000 followers. That's the
So good.
online following base she has right now. I mean, anyone can do it. Listen to your customers, go after your passion, be authentic. And, it happens, not to everybody, but you should try.
I love it. I
This is
love
what
it.
keeps me energized here in this business. And I see it firsthand right now. And she was
Yeah.
doing
What a
everything by
great case
herself, and I
study.
was trying to, why aren't you using home? Come on. No, not yet. Not yet. She's
So
managing
good.
all the business with WhatsApp and Google Spreadsheet. This is the only business tool she's using right now to this point. Within
So
a month, she will
amazing.
have her own op.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I think you're right. I love the case study of one. My wife was kind of the same progression. She was a career higher than me in the marketing industry, and then when we had kids, she started to slow down and took some time off. But now she teaches yoga classes. So she's getting a following from like going in and teaching yoga at different studios inside of the San Diego area. But I told her, well, hey, why don't you start doing like half day workshops or like do some like San Diego based workshops, and then we can maybe do some of these destination trips, if so I think it's fun to like work with your spouse, especially when they're trying to do something that's more in line with their passion and a side hustle and an entrepreneurial journey, especially when you have like some tools and knowledge to impart. But I think if anything,
I'm trying not to get involved and keep
yeah,
peace.
you kind of have to do that, right? You
There's a
kind of
clear
have to like,
separation here. There's a clear separation. That's your business. You can
that's
consult with
smart.
me. You
Yep,
can
that's how you
consult with
stay.
me, and
That's how
I'm
you
here
stay
with you to
married.
support you. Exactly.
I
I'm
love that.
25 years very soon.
You know the
So,
drill.
yeah, that's the formula to keep it, calm. But
Yeah,
I
I
think
think.
your wife will soon get to the point when you will tell her, listen, how do you scale it? I mean, being physical is until a certain point. Now you need to scale it. And in order to scale it, you need different tools.
Yep.
Okay, suddenly you want to have online courses. So you're starting creating different content for that. You want to have a booking platform. So it gets more complex, but that's the beauty. This is how you scale. You can scale a business, even if you are yoga or mentally, whatever. I mean, you can do meditation online. So anything. There's an audience for everything. So I think your wife is going through amazing journey right now. It's fascinating, I guess, from your point of view to see it, how she's growing.
Oh, 100%. I love it. So we'd be remiss to ask how you guys doing out in Israel. Things going okay? I know it's not a show to talk too much about that, but just from a human to human level, what is life like for you every day, and how are things now?
Yeah, so first of all, right now everything is calm. Um,
Yep.
and I must say that throughout the war we had in the last 2 years, we were at the office most times. We kept our work going on. Wix also holds a very big office in Ukraine. So
Wow.
two of our main offices were in war zones. It was not an
Oh,
easy situation to manage, I guess, for management and to manage an Nasdaq company where two of your main locations are under war. But I think company has provided a lot of support for many of the employees who needed that support. Many of our employees were part of the reserve duty in the army. There's still a
right.
days that they need to do that, so they need to support that. And company was doing everything to support that, also in Israel and also in Ukraine. We were a huge supporter over there. We were funding all their families and taking them out of Ukraine to different locations and
Mm,
hotels in Europe. So
wow.
yeah, so we were helping them in any case, in any way we could, by giving them cellular numbers and credit cards so they can move. So the company is doing a lot to support that. But thanks for asking.
Of
It's
course.
crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on around here. Everywhere right now in the world. So everything is getting crazy. I don't know why. Um, but hopefully, we are going toward a better future for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate to hear that you're doing okay, and things are good, as good as they can be. And I think it's always interesting to hear like what is Wix doing behind the scenes to help their employees, because those are probably stories that you don't see in the media every single day. And it's great to hear that Wix is standing up and being so supportive of their employees in two different
Definitely.
places where there's a lot to be. A lot of challenging situations. So thanks for giving us that insight. So, Yaron, I've really loved this conversation. I've loved getting to know you a little bit. I'm excited that I'm a Wix customer and I can hop on over to Hop and learn more and start to integrate it into my own creator business. So, that being said, where would you like to send the audience to learn more about Hop or to connect with you directly?
First of all, everybody can connect with me directly. It's Yarono at Wix.com, Yarono. You can either DM me on LinkedIn or X, whatever. And our main website is up.co. And if you're a Wix customer, you can just get us through your business manager on Wix.com.
So
I mean,
good.
wherever you go,
We'll
you'll
check.
find us. Don't worry. I mean, we'll be there for you.
I love it. Well, I'm going to go check my business manager after this call. So, Yaron, thank you so much for coming on. And for everybody at home, if this is the first time you are seeing the show, don't forget to give us a follow or a subscribe. If you are listening to the podcast, if you give us a honest review on whatever platform you happen to be listening to the show, that's how we find a larger audience organically. And if you know somebody in the creator economy, or you know someone who is a Wix customer already and maybe wants to take advantage of this amazing technology that Yaron is building. But I think the most important person you could share this episode with is that entrepreneur in your life who you know has had an idea and a passion for a business, but they've just are overwhelmed by the idea of needing to get all this different technology in order to get their business set up. Like Yaron said, all you need is a social media account. You just need to start creating authentic content to the best of your ability and leverage great technology like what Yaron is building with Hop, so you have a way to capture that traction and monetize it. So with all that, I will thank you for coming on and spending a little bit of the time with us this Thanksgiving week, and let's stay in touch.
Thank you very much, Dylan, for the opportunity talking to you. It was fascinating. Thank you.